colourful homes at the foot of Signal Hill mark the historical centre of Cape Malay culture in Cape Town. Let's join Graeme as he explores the magical Bo Kaap.
Welcome back for the next leg of my Via Mzansi adventure right here in the city of Cape Town. The Bo Kaap, much like the rest of South Africa's narrative, is a two-edged sword, one of pain, but also of a triumph of the human spirit, a spirit that now translates into a community that is fighting so hard to protect its culture and protect an area that is the birthright of the children who live here. Today, I get a lesson in how my city was born.
At the Owl Mosque, the first and oldest built in South Africa, Graeme met Shireen Habib, who says Islam came to the Cape from Makassar, Indonesia.
Well, both the present and the past are quite literally written into the streets here, and I wish we had more of these cobblestone streets left. One thing that stands out, and you see it in fashion magazines all over, the houses and the colours. How did that come about, this beautiful explosion of colour?
Well, it's quite amazing. Mr. Mandela, when he came out, he came to the mosque and somebody had asked him, what is it about us can't paint? We paint our homes, so we'd love to paint our houses. And he said, paint if you want to paint. But it was really the apartheid regime that wouldn't let people paint. National Monuments Council wouldn't let people paint brighter than just light pink and pastel shades.
What cultures are represented here? Where do the people who live here come from?
Well, they're from Indonesia, and they arrived here many years ago through the political time when the Dutch were busy with slaves and spices. And they made base in Indonesia, and this island, Batavia, had a university of the Sufi saints, and the Sufi saints all came there. And it was best for them to take the Sufi saint. And so the followers of that particular saint would see their father or their teacher is going on a boat, and he would follow. They would all follow. So the boatloads and boatloads of people who arrived here were immediately placed. Had to build the castle as well as build the slave lodges and so on. And so the people are really from Mocha, Makassar, Tidori, Sulawesi, all these little islands around the archipelago, but came here with a political exile, who was then put onto Robben Island.
At lunchtime, the family-owned Noongun Restaurant is the place to be for a taste of home-cooked Cape Malay cuisine and some of the best views of Cape Town.
Now, as I understand it, you guys have tried to get out of the restauranteering business and your customers wouldn't have it. They love the food. What do you think has made them so loyal? Why do you think they love it so much?
It's real home-cooked food. It's not out of a packet, and it's not, it's not something that you concoct at any given time. This is recipes that's been handed down for generations. My grandmother taught us to cook when we were in primary school. So, and it's little recipes little secrets in the recipes that you don't give away. And everything is homemade. And although she doesn't cook anymore, she would come in and taste the food and she's like, that's not right.
The food certainly is a signature of the Bo Kaap, and the restaurant, I think, is probably as much a part of this area, and you really are Bo Kaap. Tell us a little bit about the restaurant and history, the background to you guys, and this entrepreneurial story.
My grandmother opened Bismillah, and 5 children worked the restaurant until they started having children, and of course there was not really much help for her, so she sold it. And all her clients stayed with her, so she would do catering for them, and of course my aunt became a tour guide. And then after a tour, she would bring them up to the house, and my grandmother would serve them samosas and kusistas and so on. It just grew from there, so she took half of the house and she made a restaurant.
Bo Kaap, indeed. I feel like I'm on the top of the world. What an experience, what an adventure for my latest Via Mzansi trip. I can now understand why this community is fighting so hard to protect their heritage. If you make it down to the Cape, this is one experience you have to do for yourself. I feel truly privileged.
Walk the cobble streets by yourself or join Shireen on a tour, but soak in the historic heart of the mother city. Visit viamzansi.co.za for more.
Explore Mzansi and discover what you're looking for. It's here.